Well, here's a great segue. It's not even just Devin's performance. It's the unbelievable performance from Stephon Castle, our rookie of the year, Jude, who is, I think, completely deserving of that starting spot and has proved this season that he plays well next to Victor, next to De'Aaron, next to Harrison Barnes, and is, I think, as far as upside potential, clearly going to be our Robin next to Victor Wembanyama's Batman.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the reason why we're so comfortable with
Mhm.
moving Devin to the bench because of what Stephon
Yeah.
has been able to bring. And over these past two games, again, in this Portland game, 22, 7, 5 with a steal as well. I understand if you want to harp a little bit on the efficiency, not the greatest 3-point shooting nights from him over the weekend, but still was able to make one in each game. I still think that's a positive when you just consider his development overall this season. And again, we talk about it, not to harp on it every time, but there's so much stuff on the stat sheet, or so much stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet that he does, on top of the stuff that does show up, like the rebounds and assists that we've been seeing. And still, even if you want to harp on the inefficiency a little bit, but still 40 and 50% overall is still pretty solid to me. Able to get to the line despite that, and pretty efficient there as well. 22 points in both of those nights, 44 points for him over the weekend. Man, averaging higher stats in every category, points, rebounds, and assists specifically, than Zachary Rissache. And I don't make that point to crap on Rissache, but there's a comment here at the start, very beginning before the stream even started, Ethan. I wasn't able to pull it up, but they were saying, don't forget about Rissache's basketball IQ and rim pressure or something like that. And Rissache had a great game against Milwaukee recently where he had 36. And he definitely is a super solid player and can develop to a really solid player long term, an off ball floor spacer, 3-and-D guy. But I think the biggest argument that I would say, Ethan, is I think if you put Zachary Rissache on the Spurs right now, and when I say right now, I mean like without Jeremy Sohan, without Victor Wembanyama,
Mm.
without De'Aaron Fox, I don't think he's making nearly as much as the impact as Stephon Castle is. I think with the physicality that Stephon brings, as well as his playmaking, on top of the shooting, improvements that we've seen, the scoring that he's brought. Not to just harp on everything, but man, that's the thing about Stephon is we've seen almost everything. It seems like we've
Hmm.
seen flashes of everything this season, and that's why I feel like he should be Rookie of the Year. And these last two games, with 22. And again, it was like I was alluding to some of those other stat lines earlier last episode, Ethan. You see it a couple games ago. 22 8-2, 22 11-8 against Boston and Cleveland. Those are legit teams. When you look at all of these 22-point games out of the four that we've kind of seen recently, you can even see it against New York and Los Angeles, another, two more playoff teams. I could go on and on with the stat sheet. I think you get the train of thought here that I'm getting at. The dude has just been the worst team that he did that against was Portland. And I think it's pretty clear that he's the Rookie of the Year. I know we're Spurs fans. I know this is a Spurs podcast, but like I said, I think the main competition is Zachary Rissache. Statistically, he's beating him in most of the categories. And then on top of that, I think on the eye test, you can just see the impact that he's making as well. Again, not a diss to Rissache. I just think it's more of a testament to what Stephon has done this season.
Yeah, Rissache will be a really good player, but I don't even think it's close, to be completely honest with you. I would not be surprised if this was not a unanimous Rookie of the Year decision, Jude, because of every reason that you just said. And not to compare him to Devin Vassell, I don't want to like completely crap on Devin, but even when Steph is having a bad shooting night, even if he's 0 for 7 from deep, he still positively impacts the game in
Mm-hmm.
some kind of way, whether that be rebounds, assists, or just getting to the rim. I think he understands my shot's not falling. I'm stronger than everybody else out here. I'm getting to the cup and I'm going to make a tough layup or dunk over somebody or get 2 feet in the lane and kick it out to somebody who's wide open for three. His IQ is through the roof for a guy who's only 20 years old. Um, so his ceiling, even without a jump shot, is crazy high. So once he figures that part out and becomes a mid 30, high 30% shooter, he's going to be unstoppable. And I understand right now he's not a terrific shooter. So in putting him in the starting lineup, maybe that's not, maybe that gives you some fear, and that's completely valid. Um, but I don't think that that's been an issue, especially with De'Aaron next to him at the point guard next year, Harrison Barnes as well, and Victor. I think there's enough spacing out there that will allow him to be effective. But in terms of rookie of the year, I think it's Raps. I think it's definitely Stephon Castles.
Yeah, I completely agree. And to your point, Ethan, let's just go to the Boston Celtics, the defending champs here. He shot 1 for 7 from three in that game, Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
7 for 18 overall, was able to get to the line, had 8 assists as well, and was able to get up to 22 points. So, yes, not the most efficient night overall, but still, that's an example of how he was able to impact the game
Mm-hmm.
and still find ways to score on a bad shooting night already against one of the best teams in the league,
Yeah,
if not the best.
take those 7 threes out, and he's still 7 for 11, right? And that the stat, he's 7 for 11 from two. So that's really efficient as far as 2-point shots. And then, like someone in the comments said, getting to the free throw line at a really high rate recently as well.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Jacques BOF says today Castle is the best player in the squad in Victor's absence. He can take on any team. He has the highest total after Victor. He's very dominant, whatever the rookie in the game. So I think what he was getting at there is just he has been dominating, and he's been the most dominant rookie in this class this season. And I completely agree.